And welcome back to a new video, folks. And yes, it is a beautiful Saturday. And I take that back. It is f***ing hot as hell, but it is still a great day to shoot a video with my Challenger. And for those of you that thought I got rid of it for the Prius, this is not a Prius. I think this proves it. But anyways, today we're going to have a great conversation about what happens when the car salesman goes back and talks to the manager. What are they doing back there? Why does it take so long? And why do they torture us like they do? But after buying almost 60 cars and getting really deep into the entire system of screwing us, I know, and I've done my research, and I'm going to share with you exactly what these guys do. Some of it may shock you. Some of it is just like, of course, we knew that, but we didn't really know that. But first, I gotta watch this thing because it has been parked. It has been parked for a solid, week since last weekend. I've been driving this thing once or twice a week, and my daughter busted 2 rims on her car a couple days ago, hitting a giant pothole. So her car's down. She's driving the Prius. Another great use for that thing, to have a nice backup car that she can drive, which puts me in this beautiful thing today. But you know what's great about this Prius thing that I've taken so much heat about is when I get behind the wheel of this thing now, it is just like so much more fun than it was when I drove it every single day. Because yes, I started to take it for granted a little bit, but now I get in this thing and it is such a rocket ship compared to driving that Prius all week that I am freaking excited to get behind the wheel of it. And yes, I'm shifting with both hands while trying to film and head to the car wash because I need to get this thing hand washed and detailed by my favorite folks here in Anaheim Hills, California, and then we will come back and get this video started. Look at how filthy this thing is. This is bad. And yeah, those brakes destroy those wheels. Hand wash it, please. Thank you, man.
Daughter came yesterday.
Yeah, and she's got a busted rim.
Oh, really, man?
So she's driving the Prius
Bad
now.
or not?
Both rims.
Oh, both, really?
Bent them on a pothole. Front one we fixed, and then the back one we found that was still leaking air.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's $1,000, $1,500 day. Awesome.
No, anything is money.
Oh, dude, everything's just insane.
Expensive.
It's so crazy. Thanks, man. How's it going, brother? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, by the way, I am looking a little bit like a dork today. I'm wearing OC Motivator shirt, OC Motivator hat, only because I was gonna go troll dealerships, but too much going on today. So here, let me show you this shirt. This shirt is great. You can get this at ocmotivator.com, and the hat, and I've got 2 different kinds of hats, but check out the back. I don't pay add-ons, markups or add-ons. I love that. And I will get to dealerships wearing this shirt. It will be worth it. Stay tuned.
A few moments later.
Look at that, looking beautiful. Thank you, dude.
Thank you, sir.
All right, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, check out how nice this thing looks when it's clean. This thing just shines. And there's a little metal flake in that green that comes out great. But the wheels are clean. Thanks, a pain in the ass, huh? Appreciate it. Yeah, you're perfect, yeah. I just want to show everybody how nice it is. You're a genius. You're an artist. See ya. All right. All right, let's find somewhere to shoot the rest of this video. So see this? It used to be Prius drivers, folks, that never signaled, been following this guy for a mile. Hasn't used a signal once. Just driving along. Only guy on the road, the only guy that exists on the planet. It's all about you, buddy. Forget about everybody else who's stopping behind you, not knowing what the fuck you were doing. I'm sorry, just want to get one more good look at this thing. All clean. Funny, like 6 years ago, I did a video up in the same spot on a weekend, and at the time I had set up a tripod and had a Canon T3i and this wireless microphone that took all kinds of gymnastics to make it to work. And this is I'm filming on a little tiny handheld now and with a totally different Dodge, but this thing looks good. And I got this whole area to myself here. All right, folks, let's jump in there and knock this video out. All right, so let's talk about what happens when the salesperson says, all right, let me go ask the manager. This is an indication right off the bat that they have zero authority to make any decisions. At this point, you just got a plan that you're going to be there for a while, going back and forth, back and forth. And if the dealership is busy, that's going to add to the time because that salesman is going to have to go back and wait in line with the other salesmen who are in the conference room or in the office with that sales manager, going back and forth over their deals. And everybody's going to be looking for some kind of approval. And that can take a long time. Each of the times that a salesperson goes back to the manager, there is a new level of volley going back and forth. And oftentimes what's taking place is they are getting coached by their sales manager. That manager is telling them what to say when you go back. Go back and say this. They're looking at the deal structure. They're looking at the trade-in value. They're looking at all the aspects of the deal and looking for angles to improve their profit in the transaction and not have to come down on price. Oftentimes they're saying things like, which one of my buddies who was a Toyota salesman for years said he would go back, actually he sold Lexuses, he went back and asked his sales manager, can I do this deal? And the manager says, don't come here selling to me, go sell to them as hard as you're selling to me and you'll get this deal done. And that's kind of the attitude. And what's frustrating is there's such a huge turnover with not only the car salespeople, but these managers as well, that these guys know that if they don't move metal and they don't hit their profit objectives, and if they do move metal and they miss their profit objectives, meaning they're not good at coaching their salespeople on how to get more money for the cars, their job will be eliminated. So that the time they're spending while you or I are sitting out there at this conference table waiting for information to come back is solely because that salesperson has zero authority and that sales manager has ultimate authority to be able to make a deal based on what they paid for that car, the profit involved, and the overall details of the trade, the financing, the add-ons, any markups involved. All that's being considered, and he's never going to cave in easily because they're going to try to find where you're willing to go. He's also asking questions like, so how excited is this guy about that car? How sure are you they really want to buy the car? Are they looking to do a deal today? I mean, they're looking for motivation. Motivation drives action, drives decisions, and oftentimes drives bad decisions if somebody's highly motivated because, for example, they Ubered to the dealership because they wanted to buy the car, and when they got there, they didn't know that there were a bunch of add-ons and other crap on the car, or that price only included a rebate that they won't qualify for, and now they're stuck in this 3, 4, 5-hour tour where they're going back and forth with the manager. So my advice is, and this is what I've done in the past, I did this when I bought the Toyota as well, with the guy at that dealership who got my deal done in less than an hour, start to finish, me getting the keys and driving away, was this is where I'm at. You can get your manager out here to talk to me or you can talk to him, but I will do a deal today, but I'm not going to sit here for 6 hours. I am going to pay, I said, $300 a month for that car, period. I've got $2,000 in my pocket, and that's how this deal is going to go down. He came back and we did the deal for $325. Could I have fought him for $315, $310? Maybe, but it wasn't worth the time that I would have to spend in that dealership fighting. But I knew really clearly that, one, I showed up at a time when the dealership was dead. And this is important. If you go during a weekend, a high traffic level, when there's a lot of people in the dealership, you're not going to get as good a deal. Hopefully you get that. A good example is I had another Toyota dealership willing to do a lot of interesting gymnastics the day before I went to that dealership. And what frustrated me is that they kept me there quite a long time. And every time I was ready to walk and they told me they were making no money on the deal, they would go back, talk to the manager, and come back and the deal would get better. And it's easier to lie when you're lying for someone else. So it's not you lying. So the salesperson goes over, talks to the manager. The manager says, we're making no money on this deal at that price. This is our lowest price. We can't go any lower. This guy's got us over a barrel. The salesperson goes back and says that to the customer in exact words, which the sales manager knows that that's what they're setting him up to do, and tells him, go say this to them. And then that manager or that salesperson says that. And what happened with me at the other Toyota dealership was, well, nope, that's not good enough. Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. And by the way, I appreciate the deal. Sounds like a great deal. It's not the deal for me. Well, let me ask him one more time. Let me see one more time. And about the fourth time they did that, in my heart and soul, I was done. Because that left me in a place of never knowing what the bottom line was. I came in with a number in mind. Had they just went with that number right away, like the other dealership ultimately did, we would have done the deal. I probably would have paid just a little bit more. But instead, they hit me so hard and played so many games with me for so long that I just couldn't make a decision, frankly. I was so confused and frustrated because they had gone through so many different gyrations with that manager. Then finally, when we got up, we walked by the manager's office, which was kind of a lifted up, long office with a bunch of managers in it. And those managers were all in there laughing and joking and talking. And the one manager comes out, shakes my hand, and then I said, yeah, it's just we're here at this price and you're here at this price and we're just too far away. And he looks at him and says, just do it for him. And I'm like, you effing liar. Like, why didn't you do that in the first place? Now I'm all sweaty, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm hungry, I'm pissed off, and now you're like, oh, just go ahead and do it. Why did you have to put me through that? So that's what's going on between those two. So here's my advice one more time. When you go in, be very clear about what you're willing to pay, and then be willing to walk out. And to that extent, they're going to bring the manager out when they believe that you've had enough. And that manager's going to come out and give you the slickest sales pitch in the world and then act like he's caving in for you. And you got to know that does not mean that you're getting the best deal at that point. I've told the salespeople many times, listen, I understand that me and you, we're kind of in the same boat. If you don't get this sale, you don't get a commission. And if you don't get this sale, you probably don't keep your job if you don't get enough sales. So you need to get this deal. I want to get this deal. And you would give it to me for whatever price, as long as you're getting your $200 check or whatever it is. And frankly, a lot of them have these minimums and stuff like that as it is. And I can tell you right now, this won't be your biggest deal. This won't be your biggest paycheck of the year. It won't be the biggest paycheck of the month, but it will be a paycheck. But I need the deal to be here. And you can bring your manager out now, or we can do this for 1 hour, and then I'm going to leave. And you guys will be scratching your head why I have to tell you the next day or later that night why I bought a car from somebody else. And you're not being a jerk, you're just being direct about it. And I'll tell you, it's worked so many times with me. Also keep this in mind. With add-ons that are on the car, they put them on the car, so many times they put them on the car ahead of time. And the problem with that is that they're going to tell you that the add-ons are already on the car, so you have to take them. And they are $4,000. No, that Prius I bought, make fun of it all you want, but it had all the add-ons, had the door edge guards, had front PPF, it had all the stuff, the floor mats, it had all the add-ons. They won't put add-ons generally, unless it's like a Jeep and they lift it and everything else. They generally won't put any of those cheap add-ons on the car that they aren't willing to give away. Keep that in mind, that's important. They generally won't put anything on the cars that they're not ready, willing, and able to give away. So here's the secret. Show up at the end of the month, the end of the quarter, or end of the year. Show up during the week or in the morning when nobody else is there. And if you walk into a dealership and it's full of people and they're not salespeople, they're customers, turn around and walk out, because there's no emotional feeling of scarcity for the manager to be making a deal. But if you go in there like I did in these last two dealerships, where I was the only person on the lot, the only person at the dealership, I knew that at that point they were going to do screw it, do the deal. And that's what ended up happening. So that means you got to take a morning off for work. When I bought my black Scat Pack, some of you remember, I went in at 10 a.m. on like a Tuesday, I think it was. And I told them, here's the deal. I've got 30 minutes for us to come to an agreement on a price, and after that, your pizza will show up. I'm going to literally order a pizza on the Domino's app, and that pizza will be here in about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. If that shows up and we don't have a deal in concept yet, I will be leaving the dealership. And I don't mean to be a jerk, it's just I don't have extra time. I knew I was the only person there. I knew that the sales manager had nothing to do. He was sitting up at the front, little perch up there chewing on a freaking granola bar. I knew that I had their attention, and I said, here's the good news. You're going to win either way. You're going to get a sale or you're going to get a pizza, but I'm not going to give you my time. We will be done in that period of time. And ultimately he did, and I stole that black Scat Pack I bought years ago. So with that, everybody, hopefully this stuff will help you in your car shopping experience. And just know, the guy you're talking to most of the time is not the guy that can make the decision. The guy that can make the decision is in the other room, and you want to make sure he's bored out of his mind so that he pushes a deal through. So I'll catch you all in the next one, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye. fucking car.